We'll start with the new topic today. So the new topic which we will be talking about is my load balancing and auto scaling. Now, what is load balancing? This is first session. Kindly can Ganesh know if this is your first session, then you can contact your coordinator and get the previous recordings. So this is not the first session. Okay, so we will be talking about load balancer and auto scaling. Now, what is load balancer and what is auto scaling? And more importantly, why do I need them? So let me just go ahead and explain this first, and then we start here. So first thing is what happens when there is a website running. So let me say that there is an individual, he's trying to browse something. Okay, and when he tries to browse something, he's basically going to a web server. So let me say this is a web server. Now, every server will have a capacity. Let me say this server has a capacity of handling 10 users per second. Okay, but what will happen now is that all of a sudden the count will increase. Let me say now I have 100 users coming per second. So obviously this server will not be enough. So I will need at least 10 such more servers like this. So based on the demand, the number of servers should increase. And once the demand is gone, the server should go down. So this is known as auto scaling. Now, a very good example of auto scaling can be if you are running a trading website. So let me say you are running a trading website like Zerodha or ICICI Direct or any trading website for that reason. So considering that market will open at morning 9 o'clock and it will go down or it will close at evening 3 o'clock, what we will do is we will have this assumption that in the morning 9, there will be many customers who will log in, and by evening 3 o'clock, they will leave and they will go. So morning 9, I need many servers. Evening 3 o'clock, I need little servers. And maybe in the night, I need only 1 or 2 servers. So if you see here, I have a variable demand. And according to this variable demand, the servers should go up and down. Moreover, over a holiday or over a weekend, I don't need any servers or very nominal set of servers to run. Now, if I have 10 servers, I should have something called load balancer. Now, load balancer, what it will do is, so let me say I have 10 servers. In my diagram, I have 4. So let me say I have 10 servers and all the traffic which is coming, which is going to one server only, the first server. So these 2 servers are always sitting idle. So what will happen? The problem is that I will always be dealing with one server only. Now, because I'm dealing with only one server, then there are problems, right? First, the workload is unevenly divided. Then tomorrow, if this server crashes, then everything crashes. Third, at any point of time, my users will not get a smooth experience because these servers are simply sitting, not doing anything. And the other servers are consuming, or the one server is consuming all the workload. So basically, my work is not happening properly. So I will introduce something called load balancer, which will distribute the load as per this requirement. Okay, so this is what I am trying to achieve here. Done. So I will introduce something called auto scaling, where as per the demand, the servers should go up and go down. And the second thing which I will introduce is load balancing. I will say ELB, sorry, not ALB. I'll say ELB, elastic load balancing, so that the load will get distributed as per the requirement. So the first thing what I will do is I'll show you how a load balancer works. So for that, I will need instances. So let me just go ahead, admit all. And one request to everyone, please join the classes on time. If you join late, then you miss some of the other topics. So always I am saying, please join the classes on time. Okay, so I'll launch one instance. I will just say for launch instance. I will say this is my first web server, or hold on for a second. First web server. Okay. And I will use Amazon Linux here. Okay. Which is covered under free tier 64-bit T2 micro key pair, which I already have. I will use a security group which has all the port open. So I will go and use the default security group. So if I can show you my default security group, I have port 22 and port 80 open here. Then I'm using 8 GB. Then I am going to advanced details, and here I'm going to give that script which I basically want to run. So where will I find that script? So I've shared these slides with you. So you will find it in the slide. So let me go to the slide and take it from there. So basically in this script, let me just open that script first. This is the script, I guess. No, not this one. This is a script. Okay, so I've explained this script to you. So first is the bin bash statement. Then the second statement should be yum update -y. Then yum install httpd -y. Then service httpd start system ctl enable httpd. Then you create this directory, and in the index.html, let me say my first website on AWS from script. Okay, so this is what I am doing here. And I'll go, wait, I'll copy this script also. Control A, Control C. Now I will go all the way and I'll say launch this instance for me. So this instance will get launched. I told you that if you have lost your key pair, there is no way to recover it back. I told you there is an alternate way by which you can get your stuffs back. So I told you that in case you have lost your key pair, then you can do one thing. You can take a AMI of this. How to take a AMI of this? So anyhow, I need it. So I'll show you. So I'll come here and say create an image. I will say my custom AMI. Okay. Give some description. My custom AMI. And then go all the way here and say create an image. So basically this instance, what you created, an image of that will be created. Okay. So now using that image, you launch a new instance with a new key pair. So you will get a replica of this. You can delete this and you can get exact copy of what you have. So the simple answer is, in case you have lost your key pair, you cannot recover it back. But alternate way is create an image, and using that image, launch a new instance. And will you be explaining architecture in AWS? Yes, I will be explaining architecture in AWS, but all these things will be coming at the last. Okay. More importantly, in my previous class, I told you that there is something called well-framed architecture, where I told you that there are 6 pillars based on which the architectural designs are designed or thought of. So you keep that 6 designs in your mind. But yes, towards the end of the class, I will start with the architectural designs. Anyhow, this is my website. And because I have HTTPD server running on this, I'm assuming that if I take this IP address and if I run it here, I should be able to see my content. So let me just wait. No, it is not here. Just let me refresh this guy once. So it is running. So ideally it should be there. Okay. So this is my IP address. So it is not responding. So I have to check why it is not responding. The script which I ran, is it not okay? Or is there some other problem? So let's go inside the instance and see what happened. Connect. So I will just directly connect here. So the first check which I would like to do is I will like to check whether HTTPD server is running or not. So sudo, what happened? Why is this machine slow? Wait a second. Sudo su hyphen.
Because here we can do this only when it's not running. Otherwise, the script which we have added in the while creating instance, that is enough, right? If things
Yes.
are working, right?
Yes.
This is just
I'm
for
just-
checking purpose.
Yes, I'm just checking. See, service HTTPD status. So website is running. Okay. And after that, I will go to this location. Var www HTML. And here I will see if I can have my index.html. Index.html is also there. HTML H1, my first website. Everything is okay. I don't know why is it not running. Let me try it again. So this is the IP address. It is running. So basically it was available. I just had to wait for that to come up. So if you just wait for appropriate time, come here and run this guy, you will be able to see my first website on from AWS script. Why is it coming? So if you come back to your instance setting, here you will see your script. Oh, Baba, don't do annotation here, man. Why are you doing annotation here? 1 second. Okay, so if I come here, I will go to my edit user data, and here I will be able to see the script which I ran. Okay, now I have just now created one instance and it is running. I can see here my first website on AWS from script. Similarly, I'll create one more. Okay, why I will create one more? Because I want to show you the load balancing thing. So I'll say my second server.
If you want to edit the script, we can edit after launching the instance.
You can edit, but you have to stop it and then you have to edit it. Running while it is running, it cannot be done.
Okay.
So I will take all the default features like my key pair, which I created, my default security group, and in the advanced details, this time again, I will run the script, but this time I will run the script with a different value. Oh, okay. Let me come back here. Okay, so bin bash is okay. Yum update -y is 1. HTTPD -y is okay. Service start, this thing. And I will say my second website on AWS. Okay, so this is what I'm saying. And I'll go all the way down here and I will launch it. Okay, so let me launch the second website. Okay, so this second website is also coming up. It will take some time to get ready and I will have to wait for that duration of time. So as of now, if you see here, I should have two instances running. One is my first website and the second one is second web server. Wait, I'll just name it accordingly. Anyhow, you can give any human readable name. That is up to you, not a hard and fast rule that this name only should be given. So here I can see my second web server. It is running. Status is still not passed, but I will try to see if it is responding or not. So let me just take this public IP address, put it here. So it is yet to come up. So it is just coming up. So let's wait for some time. But meanwhile, I can see two instances are running. And I will assume that if I run the first web server, I will take the public IP of this server, put it here. It is routing me to the first website, and this will route me to the second website. So two web servers are there. So this is still coming up. I'm not fully prepared with this, but still second web server. Take the IP address of this machine and come here. You can see my second website from AWS. So basically what I can see, two web servers are running. One is the first web server and the second one is second web server. How to store application logs in S3 from EC2. Okay, I'll let you know. So that's a small thing. Just remind me, probably tomorrow, I'll let you know. I'll finish this and I'll let you know. So these are the two instances which are running. Now, what I will do is I will come here and there is something called load balancing. So if I go inside load balancing, first time when you come here, it will say there is no load balancer. So I'll go ahead and say create load balancer. Now, when you come to load balancer, basically there are 4 types of load balancer: application load balancer, network load balancer, and gateway load balancer. There is one more load balancer, which is the old one, which is classic load balancer. And classic load balancer is actually a dumb or a very bad way of doing a load balancing. So we just say it is going to retire. It's an old load balancer, which is not used in production grade environment. Okay, we are not doing a college project. We are working on a production grade environment. So this is not a good way of working, and obviously people are not using it. So they have just taken it out. Okay, still not completely gone, but you will see that around August 15 it will be gone. Okay, so classic load balancer, no need to know, but if somebody will ask, then you can say that there are 4 load balancer. Okay, now the first one and the widely used one is ALB, or application load balancer. Now, one very important question which many a times many interviewers will ask is, what is the difference between application load balancer and network load balancer? So application load balancer runs at layer 7. Now, I don't know how many of you are aware, but if you are not aware, just let me let you know that when we talk about network, let me just open this. Okay, so if you come from a networking background, you will definitely know this, but if you don't come from a networking background, no worries. Basically, any network, your mobile network or your internet service provider, basically whatever network you deal with, that network is divided into 7 layers. Okay, the first layer we say is application layer, and here it is also known as end user layer, and any HTTP, HTTPS protocol traffic will come here. Okay, then you have transport layer, which is dealing with TCP and UDP kind of traffic. So you don't have to go in depth and say what is TCP, UDP and all those things. Just know that SSH is a protocol, means it's a way of communication. HTTP, HTTPS is a way of communication. Similarly, there is layer 4 or transport layer where TCP and UDP is one way of communication. So obviously transport layer is this, means it is, so suppose, let me just come here. So suppose you have to come like this, you have to cross 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and this is your actual stuff. So when you cross 7 layers and come, and alternatively you directly come here. So you are coming from transport layer to the actual system, and you are coming all the way from application layer to the physical system. So application layer will be slower because there are more layers to travel. But when you come to transport layer or layer 4, then it will be faster. So this is 7th layer, and hence it is slower, not very slow, but slower. And transport layer is faster. And this is the major difference between those two. So let me just come back to my AWS thing and then show you the same. So this guy, application load balancer. Application load balancer runs at layer 7, HTTP and HTTPS protocol. Okay, and hence it is comparatively slower when you compare with network load balancer. Network load balancer works at layer 4, which is TCP UDP layer, and hence it is faster. Obviously, if something is fast, it also comes with a cost. So the requirement is ultra high performance. you need very great speed. Then you go for ultra high performance, and that will be provided to you network load balancer. Obviously, when you go with network load balancer, cost is involved, right? So for general purpose of work, you should use application load balancer. Okay traffic, okay cost, okay performance. But if you need ultra low performance, means ultra high performance, then you should go with this guy, network load balancer. So when somebody will ask, what is the difference between network load balancer and application load balancer? So first is layer 7, layer 4. When I say layer 7, it is HTTP, HTTPS protocol. And this one is layer 4. So UDP, TCP and TLS protocol. And because it is working at layer 4, it gives you a better speed, ultra low latency, but costly. The application load balancer, okay speed, okay performance, not costly. Okay. Then third one is gateway load balancer. Whenever you hear about this third-party appliances, so anytime if you have to connect yourself to some third-party appliance, you will be using this. Real-time scenario, I'll come to all these things. Give me some time. So real-time scenario can be, let me again go back. You're running a trading website. So when you are running a trading website, you will get, or you will have request where it, so suppose I'm doing a trade. So this trade has to go in a fraction of seconds, because if the trade gets delayed, okay, then what will happen? Probably the market has crashed. Okay. So I want that it should quickly, the purchase or the sale should happen. But if I'm using something which is going to give me latency, then the purchase may get delayed and then the customer may start shouting. So whenever you are working with a trading website or any website which needs ultra low latency, then go with network load balancer. Okay speed, okay performance, like you are buying a item on an online portal. So you can go with net application load balancer, nothing to worry. Normal thing is there, right? So you will go with application load balancer. So the way how I create both will be same. So I'll quickly go and create and show you. And let's see after that how it works. So this is there. Now you can give a name. So I will say it is application load balancer, or you can say my application load balancer. Give any name of your choice. There is no hard and fast rule. This is internet facing, means the traffic will come from outside or from internet. Here I will have IPv4 addresses because the EC2 instances has IPv4 address. If it is having IPv6 address, then I will say dual stack. Then when it comes to network, I will use the default security, default VPC. Where are your instances located? So you can say it can be in 1C, 1B, 1A. If you're using North Virginia, there will be 6 subnets. So you can say it can either be there. I don't say that it should be in US East 1A, 1B. It can be anywhere. So you choose all the subnets. Then here in the security group, you use the default security group. Make sure that port 80 is open. That is mandatory. Okay. And here also it is reiterating that it is working on HTTP protocol. Port 80 must be open. And then the request should go to target group. Now, target group is something like the load balancer should distribute the traffic, but to whom it should distribute? So it will distribute to the target group. But as of now, if you come here, I don't have any target group. So what I will do is I'll go ahead and create a target group. So whatever you saw was from my previous class. So let me just go here and say that I'm going to create a target group. And target group is nothing but where the load balancer will route the traffic or distribute the traffic. So there are instances. I showed 2 instances is what I created. Then I will go and give a target group name. So I'll say my application load balancer target group. Again, same thing, working at HTTP 840, port number 80. Then health check. Health check means the traffic will be distributed only when the instance is up and running, it is healthy, then only it will receive the traffic, right? Now, if I have 5 instances running and I am distributing the traffic among all 5 of them, but 2 of them have crashed, they are not able to take the traffic. So it is as good as it is not there. So I will make sure they are healthy. How to check whether healthy or not? So in my website, I have a page called index.html. So if I'm able to reach that page, if I'm able to open that page, index.html, it means my HTTPD server is running. It means my instance is healthy. Okay. All the way come here and say next. That's it. I have 2 instances. I will add both of them to my target group. So come here and say include as pending below. If you come here, as of now, it is pending, means health check is still happening, not ready, but you can come here and say create a target group. Once the target group is created, this is what I have created. This is from my previous thing. Let me just delete this. One more thing, these are chargeable. So make sure that whenever you're done with your work, you should be able to delete it. So this is what I've created, my application LB target group. So this is what I have. Come to this guy and now refresh here. Now come down here and say my application load balancer target group. Okay. Then come all the way. As of now, don't touch anything else. Come here and say create a load balancer. Now what will happen? This load balancer will be ready. So as of now, it is provisioning. Okay. If you come here, you will see that you get a DNS name. So DNS name means now you will get a domain name like this. My application load balancer, your account ID, which region you have created, and aws.com. So this is what I have created, or this is what my load balancer name is. It is still provisioning. So if you want to know what is happening in the background, come to the target, click on this, and then you can come here. So you can come to targets. So these are targets actually. So this is initial. Initial means it is getting ready. Once it is ready, okay, it is telling target registration in progress. So once it is healthy or it is ready, then you can receive the traffic. Okay. So let me just wait for some time. This will be ready. As of now, see here, healthy is 0. Okay. Unhealthy is also 0, means it is initial stage. So it will become healthy in some time. Give some time, it will be ready. Once it is ready, can I change the target type, change the IP address to Lambda function? Yes, you can do all these things. It is editable. So if you want, you can come here and you can edit this, associate new load balancer or whatever you want, you can do it here. These things can be easily done. So you have to wait. Once it is done, you have to just come here and refresh this guy. Generally takes 2 to 3 minutes and then it becomes active. Once it is active, you can come all the way down here and you can take this DNS name. Now, directly, you will not go to your EC2 instance now. Now, first you will go to your load balancer, and then load balancer will distribute the traffic among the instances. Let's see. My application load balancer, it took me to my second instance. Refresh. See, it took me to my first instance. So now there will be a logic. Based on that logic, sometimes it will go and push it to the first one. Sometimes it will push it to the second one. So it is based on the load balancer. The load balancer is seeing which instance is getting how much traffic. Every time I refresh, it is treating it as a new traffic or a new person coming and trying to log into my web server. So every time you refresh, it will change. So this is your application load balancer. Application load balancer is working at port number HTTP or port number 80. Very similar to this, you have network load balancer. Almost everything is same. The only thing is that it works at UDP layer or TCP layer, and it gives you ultra high speed. Obviously comes with a cost. So create. So you can come here and say my network load balancer. It is again internet facing IPv4. Here I'm going to use everything what I did there. So I'm saying all the three places my instance can be there. And just see here, it is going to listen at TCP protocol. Port number will be 80, but it is TCP protocol. Here, if you come, there is no target group as of now. Again, the same thing. I will create target group. And again, I will route to those two instances again. So instance and target group name, give any name, my network my network target group and TCP protocol. That's it. These are the two instances which I want to register. Now let me say I have 50. You register all the 50 and come here and say create the target group. So slowly what you will see, again the target group, this my network target group will be created, but this time same thing. It is still not ready, so it is showing everything as 0, but in some time you will see targets. No target registered yet.
You did not click on include as pending.
Okay, just let me do that. So I can see these two are getting registered as pending right now. After some time they will become initial and then they will get registered. So as of now, let's wait for this to come up. My network. So registered targets are there, unused, means nobody has used it. Target group not configured to receive the traffic from load balancer. So it will take some time and it will get configured. Okay, so wait for some time. Meanwhile, I can also come back to my load balancer. This time I will refresh my network target group. And all the way down here, create the load balancer. So again, you can go ahead and see the load balancer. This time again, same thing. It is provisioning. You get a DNS name and you can copy this. As of now, it will not work because it is still provisioning. But here you will get a better speed. The problem is you will not be able to see the difference because it is hardly there is a difference when it comes to 2 or 3 instances. But when you work in a real environment, then you will see a actual difference. Okay, that fraction of seconds, it will flash and it will come like that. But anyhow, I'll just show you that. And with network load balancer, there is one more concept which comes in, which is known as sticky session. Sticky session. Now, what is this and why do I need this? Now, let me say I have 5 servers which are running. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Now let me say this was at 9 a.m. in the morning. Okay. Now 9 a.m. in the morning, I need 5 servers and 5 servers are running. But let me say 3 p.m. I don't need that much. I need only 1 server. What will happen? Automatically 1, 2, 3, 4. These will get terminated because I don't need them. But if there is a user who is doing something here, what will happen? He will lose his session. So many a times you might have seen that when you are logged in to some website, automatically you get log out or a refresh will happen and everything is lost. So basically what happens in the background, the server where you were logged in, that automatically gets refreshed or that automatically gets terminated. The moment it gets terminated, you lose your session. Okay. So it might have happened to many of you when you're running with a banking application. There is a timeout period. So if you don't fill the details, let me say within 10 minutes, it automatically expires. So basically there is a time frame allocated. This window will operate only for 10 minutes. If you don't do any activity for 10 minutes, automatically that will expire. So it may cause a problem in some website. So let me say I am using an e-commerce website. I have added many things to my cart, but I have not clicked on buy now. Okay. All of a sudden my system refresh and whatever I have added to cart, everything is gone. Everything became 0. what happens in the background? The instance at which I was running gets terminated. As a user, I get frustrated, I get annoyed. So what my load balancer will do is it will enable sticky session. Now, when I say sticky session, if there is a user who is logged in, it will not allow this session to terminate. And every time that user will log in or will try to do something, it will route him to this traffic only. Okay. Now, there is a question here. What is latency? So I told you that whenever you log into any website, okay, there is a time required. So let me say google.com. So let me say I'm looking for a salon near me. Okay, salon near me. So what I get the response, but after 0.56 seconds. So this is latency. If you are at a very far location, probably the latency will be more. As a user, I will always want the latency to be very, 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 very less. Anyhow, let's come here. This is my network load balancer, and I have just refreshed it. And I'm assuming that this will be active now. Now what I will do, I'll come all the way here, take this DNS name and try to see whether this traffic is getting routed to which instance. My first website. And now it will give you a feeling that it is not working, but that's not the case. It is working. Actually, sticky session is enabled, so it is stuck. So you can try one more thing. You can try to open this incognito mode. See here, it has pushed you to second website. Now, if you keep refreshing now, it is stuck. It is not allowing you to go to some other place because sticky session is enabled. Okay, so here you have enabled, or by default, the sticky session is enabled. Okay, now this is load balancing. Load balancing, I saw that the load whenever will come, my load balancer will distribute the traffic in such a way that it is not limited to one server, or not only one server is stuck. Okay, so this is load balancing for me. So let me just close this. Now, I told that there is one more concept of auto scaling. Auto scaling means whenever the load is more, give me those many instances. Whenever the load comes down, you terminate them automatically, like a trading website or like an e-commerce website. I have a big billion day sale. I know customers are going to come. So when customers come, you do horizontal scaling, always and always horizontal scaling. I need more and more instances. So for that, we go all the way down here and we go with auto scaling group, also known as ASG. Auto scaling group, come here. And this diagram explains what is auto scaling group. You'd start with a minimum capacity or minimum size. Then you say that whenever there is a demand, you go and do horizontal scaling for me and increase the capacity. And once the work is done, you come back and come to minimum. Okay. So let me say create a load balancer. Here it says first you should have a launch template. So launch template or launch configuration is very similar to launching an instance. The only thing is when you say that I'm going to launch an instance, the instance actually gets launched. But the template is just like a blueprint. It will stay there and it will not get launched. Before going there, I will do one more thing. I will come to my dashboard and I will delete these two instances because now I will spin up these instances using my auto scaling group. So I'm coming here and I'm terminating these two. And if you remember, I took a AMI. And here in the graph, you can see the CPU utilization. See here, the CPU utilization you can see. So this is CloudWatch. I'll show you all these things later, but just it came so I showed you. And this is the traffic count. See, sorry, it went down. Wait a second. See here. So these are the traffic which you will be able to see. But anyhow, I'm right now going to terminate these two. It is already terminated, I guess. So these two I have terminated. I'll tell you why I have terminated. And remember one thing, before terminating, I had created an AMI out of this. This is my AMI. And I created just some time back. It is currently private, but if I want, I can make it public. Edit AMI permission. If I want, I can make it public so that everybody can see this. So now if you come here, it will be public in nature. It is available in 1716, means sometime back I have created it. It's based on Linux, Amazon Linux, and it has EBS, the block storage, and this is the storage which it is using. And along with this, snapshot should also get created, which I can see here, created by AMI. So this is there. Now using this, I will create a auto scaling group. When I come to auto scaling group, it says create auto scaling group. Okay. It says go ahead and create a launch template or a launch configuration. So it is a template basically. So in the template, first is auto scaling group name. So I will say any name, my golden auto scaling group. ASG. Okay, then it says launch template. So what are you going to do? Are you going to create a launch template? I'll say yes. Select a launch template. So I don't have anything. You can see this is from a previous class. So let me just let it be there. I'm not touching that. I'll create a new one. So I'll come here and say, I'll create a launch template for me. Click on this. If you're not talking, can you go on mute, please? Okay. So now I'm creating a launch template. Template means everything will be like creating an instance, but it will not actually get launched. Okay. So you can come here and say my launch template, launch template version. You can give any version 1.0, because in future, if you change, you can make it 1.1 or 1.2. Everything remains as it is. But here, one change which I will make is I will use my AMI and I will use owned by me and I will use my custom AMI, because I don't want to install anything from scratch. I want that everything should be ready-made, pre-configured. So I'm using this instance type. I will stick to T2 micro. I told you that entire training, I'll stick to this. I will create my own key pair, associate it here. I will use the security group. Existing security group, the default one. I am allocating 8 GB of storage. I will not give any tag. I don't want any details. I'll just create a launch template. When I create a launch template, it is very similar to launching an instance, but the instance did not get launched. 1 second. Hello. So I have created a launch template. Now go back to your auto scaling group, come here and just refresh this guy. And now you will see my launch template, take it. Then it is saying you're talking about default version, which is 1.0. I say, okay, go all the way. Next, which network are you going to use? So I will use the VPC, the default VPC, which I have. Which availability zone you want? So I can use all three of them. 1, 2, 3. Now assume that my instances are launched every instance. So I have 2 instances here. Okay, sorry, it got deleted. So let me say my instances are launched in US East 1A. Sorry, AP South 1A, AP South 1B. So I can use only 2. But it is good that if you use all of them. Okay. Then instance type requirement. So I will be using my launch template. So in template, whatever is there, you use that. So it is telling that it is 1.0 and it is T2 micro. It's okay. Next. Then would you like to associate your auto scaling group with a load balancer? I will say attach an existing load balancer, and here you will find your load balancers. So I have 2 load balancers, application load balancer, network load balancer. Now it will totally depend on you whether you want to route your traffic via HTTP or via TCP protocol. So let me say I want to route it via HTTP. It gives you an option of multiple choices, but then it will create confusion. So I don't want to do that. Health check. Yes, I want to do a health check, but not every 300 seconds. I will make it 10 seconds. So every 10 seconds, you go and check whether it is working or not. Then monitoring, I will talk about this later. Just go next. Now here you decide the capacity. Desired capacity means at any point of time, how many instances would you like to run? So I'll say 2. What is your minimum capacity? I'll say 2. So minimum, everything is gone, nobody is running. Then also I want 2 instances to be running. You can keep the maximum count as 10. Now, why we have this maximum count as 10, not 100? Again, it will depend on your requirement. If you keep it as 100 and if it goes into an infinite loop, unnecessary 100 instances will be running. So every time you can make changes to this. So to begin with, I said I need minimum 2 instances to run and maximum can be 10. You can change. When will you scale or why will you scale? So I will say whenever, so this is my target scaling policy. So I am saying one machine is running. Whenever the CPU utilization of that machine becomes more than 70% or more than, let me say 90%, it means it is about to reach 100%. And constantly it is running for, let me say 30 seconds and it is running at 90% capacity. Then you go ahead and start the instance. Now there is something called scale in protection and scale out protection. So basically what can happen in a production kind of a scenario is that the load is very fluctuating. Means all of a sudden it became 100%, all of a sudden it became 20%, then again 90%, then 30%. So the load is very much fluctuating. So if load is fluctuating, the number of instances will come up, then go down. Then again, in like 5 minutes, it will happen. That is not good. Okay. What we do is we will say enable scale in protection, means wait for some time. Check if the load which is coming, traffic which is coming, it is stable or not. If it is stable, then only do a scale in. If it is stable, then only do a scale out. Okay. So respond only to stable traffic. Something which is fluctuating, don't respond to that. Next, add notification. I will teach you when I will teach you SNS. As of now, next. Then tag I am leaving as it is. I don't want any tag. And all the way down here, I'll come and say create a auto scaling group. Now what will happen? Automatically, I told my capacity, the bare minimum what I want. Wait a second. Hold on for a second. DTS. See here, I told my desired capacity is 2, means any point of time I need 2 instances up and running. But as of now, if I come here, there is no instance running. So what it will do is, if you go to activity, you will see, come here. Okay, so first time it wanted from 0 to 2, it failed. Some reason it might have given you. I am not interested there. Your request T2 micro is not supported, something like this it gave, and then it failed. Okay, fine. Then it says, I saw that the capacity was 0. If you want, you can read through this entire thing. At this point of time, 2022 6/13, 14:25, this is UTC time. The user requested for auto scaling group change. The desired capacity was changed from 0 to 2 because the desired capacity was 2, but I saw only 0 instances running. So I'm responding to that and I am trying to make the capacity from 0 to 2, means first instance got launched. Then again, when it went to do a health check, it says only 1 instance is running. So I'll bring 1 more instance. So now you will see 2 instances will come up here. Automatically, it will come up via my auto scaling group. So just come here, see. 2 instances came up, still initializing. When did it come up? So one came up in US East, AP South 1A, AP South 1B, and just see the time. 1956, 1956. Okay. Now both are associated to my load balancer. So if I directly go here, obviously it will respond. my first website. This was a AMI of my first website, but I don't want to run it directly. If I just want to see this via my load balancer. So I am not using this network load balancer for this. I am using this application load balancer. So take this application load balancer, okay, and try to run this. My first website. How it is going to my first website? Because for this, there will be a target group. So listener, okay, wait for this. There will be a target group. My application target group. If I go to target, it has these two instances. If you see carefully, these two instances are nothing but your instances which came up from your auto-scaling group. So basically, this is how they work. One more funny thing which you will see here is, suppose somebody comes here and he will delete both the instances. These both came up from my auto-scaling group, right? Somebody will come and terminate these two. So what will happen? Within 30 seconds, the health check will fail. So my auto-scaling group will say, hey, I need 2 instances up and running. Where are those 2 instances? I don't see 2 instances running. So automatically it will spin up another 2 instances. So within 30 seconds, you will see that the instance count will start. And if you want to monitor that, you can come here. So let me just refresh this. So all the 4 instances are terminated. If you want to see, go back to auto-scaling group. Go inside this. In the activity. So it will come in some time. You have to wait for some time. Within 30 seconds, it will detect that there is a problem and it will start the work. So health check first will fail. Then once the health check fails, it will go ahead and start the instances. See, 5 means 1 came up. So let me just show you from where it came up. See, this came up pending and how it came up. So 2000, just now it came up. After some time, you will see one more will come up. So basically, at any point of time, there will be 2 instances running. And if the workload increases, it will increase and go till, see here, at 1429, okay, the instance was launched in response to unhealthy instance needing to be replaced. So my auto-scaling group was able to understand that the EC2, see here, it is telling you, the instance was taken out of service in response to EC2 health check, indicating that either it has been terminated or it has been stopped. So unless and until you take care of that, or you delete or do anything, it will go ahead and manage it. So this is your auto-scaling group. Now, once you're done with all these things, you will have to come back here and definitely delete all these things. Even if you're not deleting your application load balancer, definitely you should go ahead and delete your network load balancer. So you can come to actions and you can say delete. Okay. So now
what is the interval actually? What is the interval, time interval for creating like EC2 instance, like when we are using auto
the
scale?
health check? The health check, if you give 30 seconds, it will be done in 30 seconds. The health check you gave 20 minutes, it will do 20 minutes. So the time interval is something which you decide.
No, actually, I'm asking the EC2 instance creation time. How much time it will take? Like
that will totally depend on your internet speed. If this internet speed is good, it will be fast. If the internet speed is not that good, then it will take time. That is totally dependent.
Yeah, okay. It does not depend on the like size and like suppose it is general purpose or memory based like EC2 instance. No, right? Okay.
Okay. So now there is a question, can I create all these things with CloudFormation? Yes, definitely you can. So when it will come, the sessions will come for CloudFormation. I will tell you all those things. Now, once my work is done, I will go ahead and delete all these things. As I told you, all these things are chargeable. So I am deleting it. So remember to delete all of them, mandatory, because unnecessary cost will be there in case you don't delete it. Okay. Anyone having any questions, please go ahead. More than happy to answer them. Let's see one question here. Can we able to check by which AMI we, okay. If I have two AMIs. Okay, so if you have two AMIs, what you can do is you can individually launch instances with both of them. Okay, and you can go and check. But AMI is bootable, so you can create instances out of that. So my request will be, if you want to check, create instances out of that and check which AMI is pointing to what. Now the assumption is because you have created the AMI, you should be able to tell who is pointing to what. Okay, so that is all what we have for today. Now, if you have questions, very good. If you don't have questions, then I will drop.
Vikas, means which network traffic for gateway load balancer generally be used?
Any third-party tool, like you have some monitoring tool, let me say like Prometheus, Grafana, then you will use gateway load balancer. Any third-party tool.
Okay, why any specific reason why we don't use generally, like which we are using other to balance load balances like application and network?
See, when you work for an organization, you cannot say that they should use only the services which are available within AWS. There can be a company which will say, no, I will use some third-party tools. So if we live in a world where all the tools should be integrated with everything. So that's the reason.
Okay, means decision is on that. Means gateway is kind of thing where we can't decide it's right.
No, you can't decide anything. The company has decided that I will use some third-party tool, and you have to integrate it. So you have to use gateway load balancer.
All right.
Is it possible to add different load balancers? Yes, man. While practicing, I showed you that the same instance can have gateway, same instance can have network load balancer also, and it can have your other load balancer also, the network and the application load balancer.
Because what are the other like benefits like for creating target groups while
target groups are the destination. So let me say I have 50 instances. I want to distribute the traffic among those 50 instances. So I create a target group with those 50 instances.
Okay, so it will be parallelly work with the like load balancer to manage the traffic.
Yes, load balancer and auto scaling will work together to manage the traffic. Okay, fine guys. See you then.
Vikas, one last question.
Yep.
While creating target group, we have mentioned path index.html for health check, right? Did we create same thing in auto scaling group also for health check?
Yeah. See, in auto scaling group, we don't need it. We just need the template. Okay. The template is something where I have already configured all these things. So this is not needed in my auto scaling group.
Okay. My doubt is like how does it
auto scaling group will do it. See, both are working together. It is not like one is working and the other one is not working. So both are working together. So the traffic will first come to auto scaling group. Load balancer. Load balancer will distribute the traffic among the EC2 instances. The EC2 instances will be more or less based on the auto scaling group.
Okay. So if the instance is healthy or not, also auto scaling group only will check it.
Yes, the instance is healthy or not, auto scaling group will check, because when instance is distributing a traffic, when instance is distributing a traffic, it will see that it is not responding. Okay, so it is not responding means health check has failed. So when health check is failed, then they will have to go and distribute the traffic in a better way.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Can we launch a web server with different domain names? Yes, So for that, you will have to use Route 53. So there will be something called Route 53, where you register different domain names like google.com or amazon.com, whatever you want. So obviously it should be available. So if it is available, then you will have to take them. Okay. Okay, fine, guys. See you then.
Thank you.
Thank you.